What's up, you guys? Let's see if Roto-Rooter is going to let me over first. Yeah. Alright, good afternoon, guys. It is Tuesday still, 2nd of May. Same day as my last video you might have seen, which was a delivery to the Safeway Distribution Center in Tracy, California. We are now on our way to Hayward, California, which is in the Bay Area, to pick up our reload. This load we picking up at a place called Ajinomoto. It is a shipper I've been to once before. I don't recall if I vlogged it or not. I don't think I did, but I could be wrong. I didn't get a chance to check, but possibly I might have vlogged it before, but whatever the case, I'm vlogging it again. And you never know what kind of new experiences you might get with the same customers. Alright, we are currently westbound on Interstate 580. We're pretty close to the 680-580 split, I guess I would say. Getting pretty close to Hayward, actually. I think I might have to move over. No, I think I can use this lane. Because the highway is going to split. The right side lanes are going to go up on the 680, I think it is, or maybe it's at 580, whatever you call it. That goes up into the east side of Oakland. We're going to continue on the left side on the highway, on the Interstate 238. And take the Interstate 238 over to I-880. Go south on 880 just a few miles. I'm short, not a very long distance at all. And I'll have an exit there we'll be using here. Alright, so you have an idea where we're at now. Roughly where to find this shipper, or what neighborhood to search in for the shipper if you're wanting to follow along on the map, where to expect me to make my turns and all that. Now we got, not so bright now. Alright, yeah, it's 580 and 880, or 580 and 238 split, I guess. Alright, so 580 from here is actually truck restricted. As you see here, no trucks through Oakland on 580 except for basically local deliveries. Otherwise, they expect everybody, all of us, to be using the 238 side. Alright, that said, let's talk about something, I guess, between here for a little bit now. I'm going to talk about the load I'll just say I attempted to deliver yesterday. So you guys might have seen from my last video, I talked about a delivery that I had made to the Walmart DC in Shafter, California, which is over by Bakersfield. Well, after that, I had a pre-plan to do another local area load going from our drop yard in San Bernardino to the 99-cent only distribution center in Los Angeles. Not Los Angeles, Los Angeles. That's an L-O-S, not L-A-S. Alright, anyway, yeah, now, one problem there. I thought that the load was due on Tuesday, not Monday. I don't know why, just for some stupid reason, got it, like, fixated in my head that I wasn't supposed to deliver until Tuesday, so I got through with that that Shatford load. And my mind was just on get to the house, enjoy the time off, and then when it's time to deliver the next load, get it moving. And well, Monday morning comes around, and I was wide awake. I was actually up and dressed and out of bed and all that kind of stuff. And the planner, who actually used to be my DM, calls me up and asks me, "Hey, are you still doing that load?" Yeah. Why? Yeah, it was supposed to be delivered about half an hour ago. Shit, shit, are you serious? It's like, man, I swore it wasn't due till tomorrow for some reason. I go looking on my load assignment, sure enough it says Monday at 6 a.m. And then I look at the pre-plan, because that's what I originally looked at. And I was like, did the pre-plan say Tuesday or something? No, I look at the pre-plan and double check it, like, yeah, it said Monday too, so like, oops. Now we're getting on 880 southbound right now, by the way. We're only 5 miles away from the customer, so it should go kind of quickly here. Yeah, Yeah, needless to say, I ended up failing that load. First time ever with JCT, I actually failed a load that I can think of. But yeah, I asked them, will they still take me if I try to make delivery now? And I was going to have a lot of traffic delays just trying to get to the drop yard, and then some more getting from the drop yard to the receiver. Had I gotten there when I was supposed to be there, probably would have had 0 delays anywhere, more than likely. So I wasn't happy about that. And then I was thinking, oh great, now if I even end up delivering at all, like if they even let me dock in, now I'm going to end up having shit traffic trying to get back out of there too. Like, man, I'm not looking forward to this. But I get over there to the customer, and yeah, I go to, yeah, I try to go check in. It's, you know, kind of, I think I have a video of me delivering there in the past. So if you want to know how the process is supposed to work, watch that video. I don't know what it's titled, probably something about delivery to 99 cents only in Los Angeles, but it could be titled something else, I don't know. But I'm pretty certain I have a vlog of that prior delivery there. Anyway, it wasn't set up the same way. Circle around the same way, but there was nobody to check in with on the southeast end, and then I come back around to the other end, and I see only 2 trucks in the dock doors. A mile and a half left. Winton Avenue is the one I want to use, so I think this exit, I think this lane to my right is an exit only lane for A Street. I do see, yeah, so I'm going to stay here in this lane. But anyway, yeah, I get there a little bit after, just after 11 o'clock. And I left the house around, I think just after 7 a.m. And that's how long, and I barely got to the drop yard at like 9, when it normally only takes me not even an hour to get to the drop yard from my house. So it tells you how much delay I had to deal with on the way over there. And it was just a frustrating time. And all I got from the planner was, yeah, the planner said go ahead and run it in. I didn't hear anything about make sure you get it there by such and such time for them to take you. But I ended up later on finding out that they were told 11 o'clock. Well, I get over there, and I find the yard boss guy who usually directs drivers into the dock doors there. He was there talking to the guy who was docked into the dock door closest to the office. And he sees me walking up with my bills, and yeah, now, mind you, his English is terrible. He has, you know, he's a Spanish speaker. His English, he knows some English, but, you know, kind of just barely enough to get by kind of stuff. And, yeah, and I speak some Spanish. I'm not fluent, but I know a pretty fair amount of it. And when I do speak it, my wife and a number of other people have said that yeah, my accent is almost unnoticeable. Like, you know, most Americans, when they're trying to speak Spanish, you can very easily tell that they have an American accent to them, English speaking accent to them. For me, what words I do know how to speak, which, you know, it's a decent amount. I wouldn't say a shitload, but a decent amount. I can speak it well enough and with no accent at all. So yeah, I've actually gotten complimented by multiple people on how good my Spanish is, but like, if you only knew how bad my vocabulary is. So anyway, talking to this guy, he's like trying to tell me in what little English he can understand or can get out of his mouth. The latest that he could take me was 10:30. So I could tell he was struggling with the English, so I was like, oh, okay, se terminado a los 10:30. And he's like, see, and you know, so once he realized I spoke Spanish, and he started speaking only Spanish to me, and I had a pretty good idea on that, because, you know, there's a lot of words I tend to not know in Spanish, or maybe I've heard the word, but I forget what it means. But a lot of times, like I say, when I'm listening to my wife talk to people in Spanish, whether it be family members or parents of her students or whatever, I can usually get enough of the words to get the context of what's being said. To understand what they're actually talking about, even if I don't understand all the words and every detail. So, we're working with that there, okay? So, he's basically, I don't know if I'm going to have to reschedule the delivery, or he did say that they opened back up at like 3 in the morning in Spanish, of course. So I was like, okay, maybe I should just plan on coming back in here right at 3, or I was questioning, like, do I need to make a new appointment time? Do I need to have my dispatcher or my planner or whatever set up a new appointment for me to show up again? And afterward I leave, and and I leave, and now before I left, I sent a message on my Qualcomm saying, hey, they won't take me today. We're gonna have to come back tomorrow. And then I sent a second message before I left saying, the yard guy says that we're gonna need to set up a new appointment for if I'm understanding him correctly. So I didn't get any kind of response back. And this is one of the things where I kind of harp about communication, because there are times where, okay, like we have a night weekend dispatcher. I'm friends with her, but I know she doesn't have a shitload of patience for communicating with me on the Qualcomm, because I can come across as pushy. And I'm actually very patient. It's stuff's beyond my control. But the thing that I do harp about, but maybe not articulate well enough, is communicate. I cannot read your mind. I have no idea what you're actually doing or not doing, or what you're seeing or not seeing, or whatever. Who's getting what information? So, until I know that, I play a guessing game. I'm kind of flying blind. Alright, good. As long as you're making a left, because I need to set up for a left turn here. We're going to keep going straight ahead on Southland Place. Road will kind of curve kind of a little bit to the right where you see that FedEx truck up the road there on the other side of the intersection. It would be a left turn about a block past that. And there's a kind of a circle. There's a circle road that the customer will be on. I tend to come in from the north end and circle around to the south. My Google's actually wanting me to go straight onto the street, onto the part of the circle that the customer's on, but I prefer to go the other way so I can, you'll see when we get there. I'll explain why I like to do that. But anyway, now I leave, and then I can't really, there's not much for places to park over there overnight, and then why would I do that when I have a house that's 85 miles or whatever the hell it is from there? And I have enough time where I can get back up to my house, spend time at home, and then just come back down when it's time to deliver. Well, meanwhile, I'm going up the Cajon Pass, and I get a message from the planner saying she wasn't sure if I had the same truck number, and she had said something about sending me a couple of pre-plans. And around the same time I get the pre-plans across my Qualcomm. And, I was like, well, I listened to the first one, and it's like, it delivers this morning at 9 a.m. Like, oh, shit. Yeah, now we got a problem here. I can't deliver this botched delivery and then get back up to Tracy on time. And on top of that, by the time I ended up making contact with the planner about that whole concern, because I never got anything from dispatch at all about what, hey, this was forwarded to the planner or whatever. But the nature of the message, the first message I got from the planner, suggested that she never got told anything about what happened with the delivery. Okay, the next turn is the one I want to make. Alright, so So now we had obviously some kind of other mess there, because I could clearly tell from the way the message was worded that she had no idea that I couldn't make the delivery. Even though I'd sent Qualcomm messages at least an hour before that, saying that I couldn't make delivery and was going to need to reschedule. So I got no other instruction on what to do. Now at this point, I don't know if I'm going to just stay under the load and then just attempt delivery again the following day, or if I'm going to have to, or if they're going to want me to drop the load or something or do something else. Well, until I was going up the Cajon Pass and already passed the drop yard. So, and then I didn't get some kind of resolution on what exactly it was expected to do once everybody had the right information to work with. Until right when I was about to pull up at the curb to park over by my house. So, yeah, I let her know I was frustrated with that lack of communication, because I could have already had the load dropped in the drop yard had I known earlier that that was what the plan was going to be. But, you know, she never got the info from dispatch. I never got anything from dispatch confirming that they received my messages, whatever, or anything like that. So I was flying blind. I was just left to make assumptions, and I made a bad assumption there on what to do. Yeah, and our planner was saying, yeah, she didn't really have anybody else available to cover the pre-plans, and she could really use my help on it. So she told me, if you could just go ahead and drop the load in the drop yard still, and then go deliver the other one. And I'll be coming back down on Thursday for this load. I'll have back down in the drop yard Thursday and be ready for my Friday morning medical appointment. All right, so. Yeah, bad communication. It's I'm not necessarily going to blame the dispatcher though, because I don't know who was actually doing what, who handling what, because the planner did tell me that my regular DM was looking at stuff at some point in time, and then one of the fill-in DMs, one of her coverage DM, had looked at other stuff. So who did what, I don't know. It was more like, you guys just deal with that. I just need some kind of communication. This is being passed on, whatever, so nobody is flying blind, and because that's what ended up happening. Alright, we're gonna make the right turn here onto National Avenue. There's actually 3 streets here, but yeah, this one is this is the circle. You can take either this one or the next street down, and either one of them, the next street down will dead end right into this street, while this one's curving around. And on the south, there's like 3 streets in a row here. So I'm in the north street. The middle street is the one that dead ends into this one, and then the south street is what this one curves around into. So on the south end of these 3 streets here is where the shipper is at. Alright, I had a very, very good experience with this place last time I was here, by the way. Last time I came here, I just parked across the street, kind of, started walking up to their property. I was still not even on their property yet. By the time I was even coming up on their fence to come in their property, one of their people was already coming out to meet me, and figure out what info, what load I was picking up, whatever, and then very promptly told me, all right, go ahead and knock in the door too. So it was really super fast. And then I remember I seem to recall the loading time being pretty quick too. So I do have actually, I don't know, man. It's all right. So these signs here, I was concerned about. All right, this place right up here on the right, on the left with the chain link fence and razor wire fence, that will be where I'm going to be picking up from. We're only here temporarily. There's a fire hydrant right here. Now the sign right here I'm next to is saying no parking semis between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. So kind of takes staying overnight here out of the question. I'm gonna definitely have to leave the area once I'm loaded. Alright guys, we are ready to dock in. I got a dock door right away. Did have to wait for someone to come in from the warehouse to check me in though. Got my doors open already. I did have to reposition though because the guide wire for the utility pole there was actually in the way, so I couldn't get my right side door open. We're going to dock in the door to the same one I was docked into last time I came here. Alright, yeah, door's open, whatever, and you see here it's the way I got to come in to set up. That's why I prefer to come in from the side that I come in at. So I'm going to come in, I'm trying to get my tandems as far in as I can. I'm going to have a limited space to do it with, but alright, so see, yeah, I can use this extra space here to get my tandems a little bit closer to the door before I start kicking out. Actually, that was too much. Alright, so I gotta get around that drop trailer over there. Alright, I got to rotate a little bit faster there. It looks really tight there, but as long as my tandems were going to clear that corner, I knew I was clear. Look, I'm going to be a little bit off to the right of where I want to be. Actually, let's come back a little bit more because I want to get my tandem centered right in front of the door. Alright. So the tandems are right where I want them to be. Now, my method of fixing this, I don't want them to go any further off from center than where they already are. So I'm going to put myself in a little bit of a blind side here. Now my goal is to get my drive tires over there as quickly as I can, because the faster I get my drive tires over there, the faster I can straighten the trailer up with the door. Looks pretty good. Alright, so piece of cake there. Well,
you have 11 hours and 56 minutes of remaining drive time.
Alright, so fingers crossed to get me loaded fast enough where my 14 doesn't become a problem. Yeah. I only got 225 left on my 14, so pretty good chance that my 14 is going to cut into what I can do with my 11. Because I got 155 left on my 11, but I'm pretty sure it's going to take more than 30 minutes to get out of here. We'll find, I don't know. Fingers crossed though. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll be able to get out of here a little quicker than that and get back over to the Wesley, Patterson area, whatever I can do with that to get to a place to park, and yeah, I'll be set up to run their load to our drop yard tomorrow. Alright guys, we're all done unloading here. It's just a hair after 6 p.m. now. So, took a little longer to load than I thought it would. Oh, I forget, I need to take let me get that wheel chock out of there first. Alright, so, it is kind of heavy load. It is 38,000 pounds total. My 14's running down. I got 56 minutes left. It's not going to be enough to get me to any truck stops. So I'm just going to go ahead and I asked him if there'd be any problem with me parking on the street in front of their facility, and he says no, I should be fine to park right here. So yeah, I'm just going to pull out, park right here along the curb, and get my doors shut, doors sealed, and all that, and we'll just call it a day. kind of quick and easy. I didn't want to deal with the traffic anyway. There's no way, even if I had the clock I did have originally when I got here, there was a possibility I wasn't going to make it to the truck stops. So I'm not going to be able to scale my load until after I leave here anyway. So let me get my tandems. Trying to get the trailer pointed at the curb a little bit there. Kind of a quasi-parallel park setup here. Actually, this is how I set up my parallel park. Right now the tandems are about to hit the asphalt or the concrete there. Now when my drive tire is about to hit the curb, then I straighten back out. Not far off. Not perfect, but pretty damn close. Alright, so I'm going to just come right up here to where the end of this non-painted part of the curb is. Call it a day. Alright, again, my door is shut. You guys got a pretty good idea how this setup is. Also, by the way, if when you dock in, you can also just side in off the street as well if you don't want to go into the lot and have a little bit trickier setup. There was another driver who came in while I was docked in. As a courtesy to him, since I was already up anyway, I went ahead and disconnected from my trailer because there was a car parked in the very last spot over here up against the fence. And I wasn't sure he was going to have a lot of room to work with there. So I figured, you know, if I disconnect, you'll have more room and a little easier time getting in there. So, not like I had anything going on anyway. So, little courteous things can go a long way like that. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here so I get these doors shut. It's a load of egg rolls and pot stickers, in case you're wondering. It's frozen. Load is going to Fort Worth, I think it was, but I'm only taking it to our San Bernardino drop yard. Someone else will be taking it over from there, right? I do have, this will be my last load before I do my medical appointment. And then, yeah, to get these stitches removed. But possibly the same day that I get these taken out, I might end up picking up a reload. I don't know. See how my 70-hour clock looks. Actually, it should be fine. So, I do anticipate being back on the road Friday evening sometime, though. Hopefully. So, all right. You all have a great night, or day, whatever it is during the day you're watching. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.